Dallas Cowboys, 9 wins.
Prescott looks downfield, fires deep downfield, and it will be caught.
My model projects Dak Prescott to throw for over 3,700 yards, 22 touchdowns, and only 10 interceptions.
Dak looking, touchdown, Jason Witten.
I project Ezekiel Elliott to lead the NFL with 388 touches and 1,324 rushing yards.
Elliott with a speed. Ezekiel Elliott out of bounds.
On defense, Leighton Vander Esch and Jalen Smith helped the Cowboys allow just the 3rd fewest yards per play on first down last season, something I see continuing this season. Philadelphia Eagles, 11 wins, and your projected NFC East champion.
Wentz to Ertz for the touchdown.
My model has Carson Wentz throwing for over 4,200 yards, 29 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions, making him my quarterback number 6. Wentz did miss 13 games over the last 2 seasons, so the signing of Josh McCown is huge for their projection.
Arcega-Whiteside on a perfectly thrown ball.
Defensive line is a huge strength of this team. They got pressure at the 2nd highest rate when not blitzing last season, a trend that forecasts to continue this season.
And you've got Fletcher Cox in the middle of that. That's tough.
New York Giants, 5 wins.
Dump it off to Barkley and nothing but pay dirt in front.
My model projects Eli Manning to throw for over 3,000 yards, 18 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions behind an improved offensive line. My model also projects Saquon Barkley to lead the NFL with 15 touchdowns.
Barkley again with a big hole, and he's into the open field. One man to beat inside the 10, and Barkley to the end zone.
And Evan Ingram projects to be my tight end number 5 this season with 800 yards and 5 touchdowns. Washington Redskins, 5 wins.
Darius Geis, a good sight for Redskins fans.
If Darius Geis is healthy, the team could have a 1-2 punch at running back with him and Adrian Peterson.
Adrian Peterson, a 90-yard touchdown.
On defense, the addition of Landon Collins should help out the secondary with Josh Norman.
And an overthrow and an interception at the goal line by Josh Norman.
If you're looking for a late-round sleeper, target Terry McLaurin, as he's a wide receiver with a ton of upside. Chicago Bears, 10 wins.
And Bradford is going to lose yardage. That's not a good sign. Khalil Mack gets to him.
I project the Bears to once again have the league's top defense. And on offense, both Allen Robinson and Anthony Miller rank in my top 40 PPR wide receivers.
Allen Robinson, and he's going to go in for a Chicago touchdown.
I project rookie running back David Montgomery to go for over 1,000 scrimmage yards and end up being my running back number 20 in PPR format.
Right back to David Montgomery. Look at that stutter step. Patient. And David Montgomery, the 3rd round pick, is in for his first NFL touchdown.
Green Bay Packers, 10 wins.
Rodgers dancing, throwing for the end zone, and it is holding, touchdown.
My model projects Aaron Rodgers to throw for 4,200 yards and 29 touchdowns with only 7 interceptions, making him my quarterback 3 for fantasy purposes.
Steps up, throws a left, got Devonta, reaches pylon, and touchdown!
Look for the relationship between him and head coach Matt LaFleur to develop, as Aaron Rodgers only threw 2 interceptions all last season. And the receiver to watch, Devonta Adams, who's had 10 or more touchdown receptions in 3 straight seasons.
End zone, touchdown, game over, Devonta Adams!
And who my model projects to lead the NFL with 12 touchdown receptions this season. Minnesota Vikings, 8 wins.
Cousins throws as he backpedals for the touchdown to Diggs.
My model projects Kirk Cousins to throw for over 4,000 yards with 29 touchdowns and just 13 interceptions. My model projects Dalvin Cook for almost 1,500 scrimmage yards, and he's my running back 8 in PPR formats.
Gets a block at the 25, and Dalvin Cook steams clear. Touchdown Vikings!
Both Adam Thielen and Stephon Diggs are among my top 15 projected wide receivers this season. Detroit Lions, 7 wins.
Stafford, wide open in the end zone.
My model projects Matthew Stafford to throw for almost 4,300 yards, 28 touchdowns, and only 11 interceptions.
Wide open. Catch is made by Galladay.
The Lions added receiver Danny Amendola, improving their forecasted production out of the slot after only targeting this position at the 5th lowest rate last season. On defense, the remade front with Trey Flowers, Mike Daniels, and Damon Harrison, who they acquired midseason, projects to be stout against the run. Los Angeles Rams, 10 wins, and my model's projected NFC West champs.
Gonna go quick here. They're gonna give it to Kelly. Nope, Goff's gonna keep it, and he's gonna walk in for a touchdown.
My model projects Jared Goff to throw for over 4,300 yards, 29 touchdowns, and just 10 interceptions. All 3 Rams wide receivers rank amongst my top 22 at the position for fantasy purposes.
Wide open, touchdown!
And on defense, I project Aaron Donald to again lead the NFL with 18 sacks.
Get to him here. Rosen pressured, and down he goes. Who else but Aaron Donald?
Seattle Seahawks, 9 wins, and a projected trip to the playoffs as a wild card.
He's got it! More! Touchdown!
Adding Jadeveon Clowney and his ability to bring pressure to their defensive front shifted the Seahawks from missing the playoffs into the wild card spot. My model has Russell Wilson earning 3,500 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions with 500 rushing yards.
Wilson escapes, does a Houdini. Down the middle he runs and slides to a stop.
Chris Carson is my running back 23 this season and projects for over 1,000 scrimmage yards.
Carson going into the end zone for 6.
And Tyler Lockett is my wide receiver 23, projected for almost 1,000 yards and 7 touchdowns. San Francisco 49ers, 8 wins.
Garoppolo going to the end zone, and it is caught.
Jimmy Garoppolo projects to throw for over 4,100 yards, 26 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions this season.
First down, another play action. Here comes Sherman, and Sherman's going to get Josh Rosen.
Their defense was a problem last season, as they only earned 7 takeaways, the fewest in NFL history. It's also something they spent a lot of time addressing this offseason. They drafted Nick Bosa and acquired both Dee Ford and Quan Alexander. Arizona Cardinals, 5 wins.
Murray, he'll throw it again, and on the money again.
I project Cuyler Murray to throw for over 3,600 yards with 18 passing touchdowns and rush for over 450 yards with 5 rushing touchdowns.
And he's able to get to the outside.
Last year, their offense was last in scoring, total, passing, and rushing offense, but I think Murray starts to turn that around, especially with the help of David Johnson.
The give straight ahead is David Johnson.
He's someone you need in fantasy. I project him to be in my top 10 amongst fantasy PPR running backs. As for their defense, there's a bunch of new faces in that defensive front, but I do think they'll start a little bit slow due to Patrick Peterson's 6-game suspension. New Orleans Saints, 10 wins.
It's hauled in! Touchdown!
My model projects Drew Brees to throw for over 4,400 yards with 29 touchdowns and just 8 interceptions. This makes him my quarterback 9 in fantasy.
Floater wide open down the sideline. Kamara.
And Alvin Kamara is my running back number 3 in PPR this season, projected for over 1,500 scrimmage yards and 14 touchdowns. I project Michael Thomas to lead the NFL with 111 receptions.
On first down, little shoulder fake. Thomas, what a throw!
Carolina Panthers, 8 wins.
Looking end zone. He throws. Touchdown!
I project Cam Newton to throw for 3,300 yards, 22 touchdowns, and only have 12 interceptions.
Newton fakes the handoff. Throws. End zone. Touchdown!
Last season, Cam only completed 9 deep passes. That ranked 30th in the NFL. I expect a big uptick in that this season. And Christian McCaffrey, who's averaged 93.5 receptions in his first 2 NFL seasons,
Here's McCaffrey.
ranks as my number 2 PPR running back for fantasy.
McCaffrey, touchdown.
Atlanta Falcons, 9 wins.
Ryan going for it, wide open for the touchdown.
I project Matt Ryan to throw for over 4,500 yards with 31 touchdowns and only 10 interceptions.
Ryan pulls it down, wide open, inside the 5, touchdown.
He's my number 5 ranked quarterback this season in fantasy. I also project Julio Jones to lead the NFL with over 1,500 receiving yards.
Throws, touchdown, Julio Jones.
So put that into your model when you're drafting your fantasy wide receivers. Now, Devonta Freeman projects as a low-end running back number 1 for me this season. He ranks number 12 in my projections. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 6 wins.
touchdown, beautifully placed by Jameis Winston.
My model projects Jameis Winston to throw for over 4,300 yards, with 27 touchdowns and 15 interceptions. Under new head coach Bruce Arians, he's my quarterback number 11.
Here's Winston going to the end zone to Evans, and it is a touchdown.
Mike Evans and Chris Godwin are both among my top 20 wide receivers this season. O.J. Howard is my tight end number 6, projected for over 800 yards and 6 touchdowns.
This guy can run as good as any tight end in football.
New England Patriots, 12 wins. My highest projected win total this season.
Unloads to the end zone. Caught by Gordon. Touchdown, Patriots.
My model projects Tom Brady to earn 4,200 yards, 28 touchdowns, and only 8 interceptions.
And he's going to throw it. Dorsett, who comes back to his quarterback.
I project Sony Michel to earn almost 1,100 scrimmage yards with 8 touchdowns. And as for making up for Gronk's absence,
Rush, 8 covering. Brady floats one, caught, touchdown Edelman.
my model forecasts Julian Edelman will step up. He's my PPR wide receiver 14 this season. New York Jets, 8 wins.
Here's Darnold, airing it out, deep ball, separation, caught, Robbie Anderson, goodbye, touchdown, Jets.
My model projects Sam Darnold to throw for almost 4,000 yards, 21 touchdowns, and 11 interceptions. Le'Veon Bell is my running back number 4, coming back in a big way with 1,600 yards and 12 touchdowns projected this season. Watch out for Robbie Anderson this season.
Darnold throwing, deep ball, he's got Anderson for the touchdown.
I project him as my wide receiver 28 with over 900 yards. Buffalo Bills, 6 wins.
Jumps over the defenders to pick up the first.
Josh Allen was a big-time fantasy quarterback in the second half of last season due to his over 600 rushing yards and 8 touchdowns in 11 starts.
Here's Allen, 1st and 10. He's going to tuck it away. Ready, breaks a tackle, and the rookie into the end zone.
They also added John Brown and Cole Beasley to spark their receiving core. Look for the Bills' defense to be among the league leaders in sacks,
Hughes knocked it free. Ball is out again.
with veteran Jerry Hughes and rookie Ed Oliver being major contributors. Miami Dolphins, 4 wins.
Oh, look out, Gronkowski didn't have the angle, touchdown.
Look for new head coach Brian Flores to establish a new identity and culture as they look towards the future.
Larry stays in bounds. And the biggest play of the ball game from Miami.
Look for young defenders Minkah Fitzpatrick in his second season and rookie Christian Wilkins to step up. Baltimore Ravens, 9 wins. I project Lamar Jackson to throw for almost 3,000 yards with 17 passing touchdowns and 189 rushing attempts for almost 900 rushing yards.
Jackson will run. Sidestep the man, gets inside the 10, the 5, hurdles a man and steps in for the touchdown.
Last season, the Ravens ran on almost 64% of plays in Lamar Jackson's 7 starts. Cleveland Browns, 9 wins and a trip to the playoffs as a wild card.
Mayfield rips it. End zone. Touchdown.
My model projects Baker Mayfield to throw for over 4,300 yards with 27 touchdowns and 14 interceptions. He ranks as my quarterback 9 ahead of the season.
Baker, time again to throw. This time over the middle and caught.
I project Odell Beckham Jr. to have more than 1,350 receiving yards and Nick Chubb to have over 1,400 scrimmage yards and 10 touchdowns, which makes him my running back 10 for the season.
There goes Chubb. 92 yards.
Pittsburgh Steelers, 10 wins, making them my projected AFC North champs.
He throws it down the field. Pass cut. Juju. A 97-yard touchdown reception.
I have Ben Roethlisberger slated to throw for over 4,400 yards with 29 touchdowns and just 12 interceptions. Juju Smith-Schuster is my wide receiver number 8 in fantasy this season.
The ability to get both feet down in bounds. Touchdown.
And James Conner is my running back 9. He projects for over 1,400 scrimmage yards. As far as another projection, as in one on the defense, I think you should look at Devin Bush as a strong contender for Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Ellington is hitting behind Devin Bush. Was one of the first to meet him right there.
Cincinnati Bengals, 5 wins.
Room for Mixon. The spin by Mixon and a first down.
My model projects Joe Mixon to earn almost 1,700 scrimmage yards, making him my running back 7 in PPR formats.
There's room. Joe Mixon, the acceleration into Pittsburgh territory.
Now, right now, I'm projecting A.J. Green to just miss the 2 first games of the season, meaning he and Tyler Boyd end up being my wide receiver 20 and 21 for the season in PPR formats.
Going up high, A.J. Green snags it.
Kansas City Chiefs, 11 wins.
Connects it. It's Robinson.
My model projects Patrick Mahomes to again lead the NFL with 4,700 yards and 37 touchdowns. 13 of those touchdowns are projected to go to Tyreek Hill, with 10 of them coming when Tyreek Hill lines up in the slot.
The sling to Tyreek Hill, and look out, Tyreek Hill, game-breaking speed.
Travis Kelce is my tight end #1 in fantasy, projected for 10 touchdowns.
Travis Kelce, touchdown.
No other tight end is projected for more than 8. Los Angeles Chargers, 10 wins.
Rivers, end zone, completion and a touchdown.
My model projects Phillip Rivers to earn almost 4,500 passing yards, 28 touchdowns, and 12 interceptions. The Chargers project to have an explosive offense with 2 wide receivers ranked in my top 30, with Keenan Allen being my wide receiver #9.
Rivers steps up. Heaves it downfield, wide open. That's a touchdown, Keenan Allen.
I also project Hunter Henry to come back strong as my tight end #4 with 800 yards and 7 touchdowns projected. Denver Broncos, 6 wins.
And there's Von Miller. I was about to say we have not mentioned Von Miller's name all day.
The defense under new head coach Vic Fangio will be the strength of this team. Von Miller and Bradley Chubb project to be a top 3 sack duo in my model.
Goff on 3rd and 6, getting away for not long. Bradley Chubb.
On offense, be careful for fantasy purposes, as my model warns of a shared backfield, with Phillip Lindsay falling outside of my top 25 running backs.
Lindsay down the sideline, gets inside the 10 and scores.
Oakland Raiders, 7 wins.
Quick to the outside, Ryan Bland looking for that pylon. Touchdown Raiders.
Antonio Brown is my wide receiver #6, with almost 1,300 yards and 10 touchdowns projected. Rookie running back Josh Jacobs is my #17 running back, and he's slated to have almost 1,200 yards and 7 touchdowns in my model. The defense projects to struggle rushing the passer, and will hope the #4 overall pick Clelin Ferrell helps. Houston Texans, 9 wins.
Watson looking deep down the left side of the field for Fuller. Fuller has got it! Touchdown, Texans!
And my model's projected AFC South champs. With the addition of left tackle Laramie Tunsil, my projection for Deshaun Watson went from really good to even better. I have him earning 4,000 passing yards, 600 rushing yards, and 30 total touchdowns. 5 of those are rushing. I also have DeAndre Hopkins earning 1,300 yards and 10 touchdowns for the 3rd straight season.
Watson across his body, completes it to Hopkins, 5, and he takes it in for the touchdown.
And on defense, with the departure of Jadeveon Clowney, J.J. Watt's impact is even more important. I project him to earn 14 sacks again this season, which would be his 5th such season. Only Reggie White, who has done it 7 times, has done it more than Watt. Jacksonville Jaguars, 9 wins.
On 2nd and 5, Foles, end zone, pass caught, touchdown Westbrook.
My model projects Nick Foles to throw for over 3,600 yards, 26 touchdowns, and just 12 interceptions. Over the past 2 seasons as an Eagle, we saw Foles throw 12 touchdowns with no interceptions on quick passes.
Foles sidearms it, caught for the touchdown.
This will be a super helpful addition to the Jags offense. Look for him to target D.D. Westbrook on passes like these.
2nd down and 7, passes caught by Westbrook.
Tennessee Titans, 7 wins.
Touchdown to Delaney Walker.
The Titans project to lean on the run with Derrick Henry this season. I project Henry to have over 1,100 yards and finish 4th in the league in rushing.
99 yards! Unbelievable!
Corey Davis could make a big leap this season. I have him as my wide receiver 34, but he has a ton of upside.
Caught over the shoulder, Davis broke a tackle, cuts inside, 10-5, touchdown!
Indianapolis Colts, 7 wins.
And Brissett going to make something happen with his wheels.
The loss of Andrew Luck just ahead of the season changed the Colts' win projection from 10 down to 7. This 3-game loss would have been even more dramatic, like 5 or 5.5, had it not been Jacoby Brissett taking over.
And he's looking for him.
Touchdown. There it is. Great throw. Great drive by Brissett.
Brissett, standing behind this great O-line, one my model ranks as second best in the NFL, has far more boom or bust potential than Luck did. This means Marlon Mack has a ton of upside. He's ranked number 15 in my running back model.
Here is Mack, and another stroll into the end zone.
And makes T.Y. Hilton, who was my wide receiver 11 and then dropped to my wide receiver 18, a lot more risky.
Touchdown!